tons that it can hold. But we only do 8.5 because she is unfortunately not working properly. So we are looking to replace it in the next couple of years, but the new one will be even bigger. That 8.5 tons is going to come into the mash tun. Then we need to start adding water. So most distilleries are going to add 3 waters to their mash. We add 4. So the first water, 28,800 litres, to 64 degrees Celsius water. So 64 degrees is the optimum temperature from converting those starches into fermentable sugars.
So 65 degrees Celsius?
64.
64 Celsius.
Yes, that's the first one. So inside of the tun, there is what looks like a rake. That's just going to spin and it's going to turn around. That will mix your malt in with the water into a sugary malty porridge. Once it's been thoroughly mixed and we believe we've got all the sugar out, we're going to drain the water and it's going to be sent over there towards the underbag.
So this is now?
This is the mash. So then we put in the second water, 12,400 litres, now it's 76 degrees Celsius. So this one's a little bit higher to try and convert those bigger pieces of starch that we saw in the husk tray. So the bigger the starch, the hotter it needs to be to convert. So the third water, 19,000 litres heated to 82 degrees Celsius.
82도에 물이 들어가죠, 마지막으로.
So it's at its highest point now, and this is trying to convert any remaining pieces of sugar. Not going to be a lot left, but if there is anything, we don't want to waste it. Once this one's drained, it will be sent back to the water tank, and that is used as the first water for the next batch to go through. And then you put in the fourth water, only 5,000 litres, but also heated to 82 degrees. And that fifth water is just because of how big this tun is. We want to make sure that it gets everywhere. We want to make sure we get all the sugar out of this thing. It's going through the
What is this?
So this is just turning the mash in there to mix it. So it's the rate that's turning, it's mixing this in with the water, and this is to make sure that it gets everywhere so we can extract sugar. So at the end of those 4 waters, once all of it's drained, we're left with this brown sawdust-like powder. It's called draff. And it's basically just the sugarless, empty husk. So normally what we would do with that husk is sell it to local farms to be made into cattle feeds and feed the cows. However, the Scottish Whisky Association passed a new law to say that by 2040, all Scottish whisky distilleries must be carbon net neutral. So we built up on the hill over there a big black building, and that is called the biomass facility. So we send half of that draft up there to be mixed with wood chips, and then it will be burned, and that creates renewable energy for us. The other 50%, we do send that to the Isla farms to be given to the happy cows.
So now it's off. Does it work just one time?
So we're just going to rotate it very slowly. So if we do it too fast, it will just create too much of a fast mixture. It's not going to convert that well. So you just want to mix it very slowly, just make it go around. It's a patience game.
So you're explaining us that the last water is not really used for the whiskey making, right? Just for washing the inside of the
No. We're putting it in there. It will still extract some sugar, but there's not a lot left. So at the end of this, we are just going to, when there's no water left, it just keeps on turning. So the draft will be. You want the draft to be dry, so that it will go through. If it's wet, it's stuck together. So once it's dry, it will start being able to go through. Then after that, yes, we will hose it down to give it a clean.
So
the fourth water isn't for cleaning; it is for the mash itself.
Okay. So you're saying that it is also used for first water of the next round,
yes,
right? So that's the fourth one.
Yeah.
What is the information board for? Is it for scheduling or
it's
for
information for the people that are working here, pattern that you work. So we also work 24 hours. So one person will be working during the day, then the person after that will be working during the night. The person working the night will see what happens during the day, if it's corrected or anything needed to keep an eye on. Just so that people know if anything's happened. It's so that everybody that works here is aware of everything that's going on at all times, because you can't be here 24 hours a day. So there may be a case where something might be leaking. You may have forgotten to tell the person that's on the next shift, but anything that's a change from the norm has to be documented so that people know. Because we are in a very dangerous place if things aren't done safely and properly. So we always need to make sure that everyone knows all the time what's happening.
Only one in here.
Yes, we only have one.
If in case it breaks down, how could you deal with it?
So we can try and repair it the best that we can. So as we know, it's already not working properly. Really the only thing is you have to try and repair it here. If it completely breaks down and it's unsalvageable, then we can't do any mash. This is the underbar. It's essentially a holding vessel. So from those first two waters, all of that's going to travel through this. At this point, it's far too hot. We need So we need to start getting ready to add the last ingredient, which is this microorganism that absorbs the sugar. At this point, it's too hot. If the liquid is too hot, the yeast will die. If it's too cold, the yeast won't be able to activate and do its job properly.
So what is the temperature?
So the optimum temperature is between 21 and 25 degrees.
21.
Yeah. So all of that liquid is going to travel through the machine here. It's called a heat exchanger. And that's going to cool it down to about 24. Here, that will be set up to a room over there for fermentation, which is where I'm going to take you next. To get there, we must go through that route, which is the still house. So I need to remind you that we can't have any phones, cameras or devices on. So if you don't mind when we're walking through there to put any sort of phones away. That's alright.
여기 우리 담겨져 있는 뭐 양은 얼마나 돼요? 이나 이런 거.
What is the max of the water here?
Sorry?
What is the max? How many liters?
I'm not too sure about this one. It's not a lot. As you can see, it only goes down that far. So some of it will be drains, and then it will be fills and drains. If you guys don't mind putting any sort of phones, cameras away, I'll just take you through here, okay?
Okay.
얘는 뭔지
So what is it?
It's an old-fashioned method used to measure how much is in there. So when there's more and more in, this starts to get lower. It starts to pull down. And then what's less, it goes up. We still have it here, but it's not working anymore. It's just old-fashioned. So it does run through peat, but that doesn't impact the flavour. So the peat comes from when you're drying your barley. If you wanted to have that peated flavour, those phenols, you're going to dry it under a peat fire. So stacks of peat that are burned and dark smoke will rise up. And in that smoke you have little tiny elements called phenols.
So you mean that in the water, there is the peat, but it doesn't really...
It won't add anything to it.
Okay, and the flavor is not really affected?
No, because it gets filtered before it gets here. So the fact that it runs through the peat doesn't mean anything. It's the drying of the barley that adds to it.
좋아요. 알림 설정까지.